Welcome, YouTube, to the art of prepping. Okay, today we're doing a few of my Gerber knives. Gerber in general is not what I would call like a high quality knife. They make some, but in general, their average knife they produce is definitely substandard. They work. It's not what you would be like something you would pull out during a knife show and try to brag about, but some of their knives are hit and miss, and we all know that in the knife community. And today I just wanted to show you several of the Paraframes that I've accumulated over the last few years, and one other Gerber. And so this one's the mini. It has the nail nick on there, real small size. It's just like a secondary or tertiary blade. It has the mystery steel. We don't really know. I haven't really used it to know how well it works, but I'm sure it would cut something. I don't think it would hold very much of an edge retention over a long time, but lightweight, obviously, aluminum handle, scales, and pocket clip, and open pillar construction. So, you know, it is what it is. I got this in a multi-pack when I bought another Gerber. And this one is not the one that I purchased with it, or it came with it, but this is the first one Paraframe that I ever received. Well, purchased. I believe I got it on eBay a long time ago, but and this is just like the standard size. I think they do make one that's larger now. And so this is the older version, which is pretty thin. In fact, let me just break out the newest version that came in the multi-pack with the smaller one here, and that's this one here. So we get to compare them quickly. The newer Paraframe Gerber is it just seems like it's a little bit bigger in a lot of ways. The blade, though, unfortunately, it's just a bit smaller on the new one than the old one. But I'm not sure if that's just because this is the partly serrated version or not, and they're just a little smaller. But in terms of the frame slabs here on the scales are just a little bit thicker than the actual older one. You can definitely tell the thumb studs are bigger than the older one, and they doesn't feel like a lot heavier, but there just seems like there might be just a fraction of an ounce more weight to it. There's just various things here that are slightly different. Even the types of screw constructions are just a little bit different. This one's like more of an Allen wrench. That's more of a star. So it's just some different things. I think they just did a revamp on this a few years ago, and this is the newer version. So this is the one you would get now. But with that being said, those are the three that I have that are the Paraframe. And even though I have some fixed blades by Gerber, just a few, these are the only four that I know of that I have that are in the folding category. And let me just move these around here so we can get them all on this little block. So this is the Grylls Scout folding knife. It's definitely a doable knife to carry and stuff. I mean, it's not bad in some ways. It's likable. It's just you got this peachy orange. I mean, I know this is supposed to be out in the field and you're in the woods and you drop it. You don't want it to be all black or brown, and you never find it maybe. And I get that, but I personally would rather just have more of a neutral knife and have that ability to attach a bright lanyard to it. So if I didn't want the bright lanyard, I could take it off if I'm not in the woods and not stand out so much. Because the way this is that in the pocket, the pants stop about right here. And so you have about that much of the blade, the handle, sticking out. So you got this band, this little strip of peachy orange popping through. It's a little tacky, though, in my opinion, even a little urban. To this logo on there, and yes, it does feel nice. There's a little bit of a rubber overmold, but I think they could have gone without this and did something more subtle. The newer ones, though, that's just been released in the last year and a half, went to more of a black instead of a gray here, and more black blade, and They made a couple little tweaks here and there, but essentially it's the same knife, just different finishes. I mean, this thing locks up really well. It's centered pretty well. Can't really complain on that. It's super lightweight, just a few ounces, literally like 2.5 or so ounces maybe, or something. It's just ridiculous. But there is no liners, and not that you would need something like that on this knife. It's just a carry knife in the woods. It's a backup knife. But I mean, it's very sharp, and they say it's a high carbon steel. At the time I bought this one, it was a mystery steel. I think the new ones, they are listing the blade steel. I think it's like a 7CR 13 MOV and something of that nature. It might even be 9CR 13 MOV. I'm not for sure, but something in that range. So it's budget Chinese steel. These knives you can get between $20 and $30. I think there's just maybe possibly better options than this though. I just kind of enjoyed on an entertainment value and entertainment level Bear Grylls, so just bought these and these alone. I have a couple of fire starters also, but I have to say though, for the money though, now that I've gone through this cycle of, I wouldn't probably have gotten some of these, but at the same time they are acceptable, for the price that I paid for. I got them for a pretty good deal. So I mean, like this one right here, I do believe I got this for around $10 on eBay right when they were kind of new, and it wasn't really a fad yet, for everybody to collect the big Bear Grylls stuff. So anyways, just wanted to show you my little collection of folding knives from Gerber. And are there other options that for the money, for the actual dollar, that's better? Sure. The K-Bar Dozer series, definitely could look at the Spyderco Bird line. And even Buck has a couple knives. Even though I'm not a big fan of Buck and some of their folding knives, they do have some for the money. So it just depends on preference and what you're really into. I mean, that's what a lot of this comes down to, and so that's it. Now I'm rambling too much. So all right, adios.